Hello everyone, I'm Eddie Riccardi, your real estate and relocation specialist in Lisbon, Portugal. And today we're here to talk about a very important topic and something that I get asked a lot. How LGBT friendly is Lisbon, Portugal? My team and I receive messages from people just like you every day wanting to move to Portugal, and we love it. Be that in a month or a year from now, it's never too early to start planning. Click on the link below to schedule a Zoom call with us so we can further discuss how we can assist you and your family with relocating and investing in Portugal. I'd like to start by sharing with you my first visit to Portugal, or in that case, our first visit to Portugal. My partner and I came to a wedding in northern Portugal back in 2017. Friends of ours from Toronto were getting married, and we happened to be holidaying in Italy at that time, and we decided to come to the wedding. And it's important to mention that this was in this very small town in northern Portugal, north of Porto even. We came and we're just so amazed on how well we were received. And it's not that my partner and I are very, public display of affection and that we're really, holding hands and things, but we present ourselves as a couple, right? So to make it short, what we found out later, not only that we were so well received by a lot of the guests that actually, they're very small town folks that haven't traveled much, that haven't lived abroad, of how welcoming they were to the fact that we were there as one of their guests. But to my surprise later, my friends came to tell me that many people approached them to ask, hey, are they a couple? And then of course he would answer, yes, they are. And everybody was like, oh my God, that's so nice. That is so nice that they're so comfortable. That's so nice that they're here. And so overall, that was a really good start to how we felt in this country. And from that moment on, we started thinking, this could be a place that we'll live one day. So needless to say, the experience was amazing. Fast forward a few years and we moved here. So just wanted to share with you as a really kind of a starting point of how we felt even in interior Portugal during our first visit to this beautiful country. So a few years back, I became familiar with an organization in Europe that is called Rainbow Europe. And they do a ranking with 49 countries in the European continent on percentage of how you can achieve, human rights for the LGBT community. And I wasn't surprised, but I was really impressed to know that Portugal is on the top range. I know is on the 11th spot out of 49 countries. And it's sort of when you look, and I'm gonna put a link to Rainbow Europe on the information for you to have a look at. It sort of goes in colors for dark greens, which would be the most LGBT friendly, legally speaking, to red. And Portugal is up there together with countries like Norway, Sweden, Spain, France, is a very green country. And to my surprise, above places like the United Kingdom and Germany, which was really shocked to hear that there's more rights for the LGBT community in Portugal than there are in Germany and the UK. Just as a side note, something that was very shocked, it's how low where Italy stands, a country that we love so much as well. It does as poorly as some places like Czech Republic, Hungary, and some other places in Eastern Europe. So this is just to give you some information on things, on an organization that have done a lot of research to put this information out to the public of proving that how we feel when we're here is actually proven by numbers, by the laws and policies that were created in Portugal to protect and to give rights to the LGBT community in the country. And now let's move to more specific things about Lisbon and Portugal, you know, events, facts, specific laws that have the livability and the welcomeability of the LGBT community in Portugal. I like to start to say that today we're filming out of the Late Birds Urban Gay Resort, and that's actually in Lisbon. It's a beautiful project that was started here, I believe, almost 10 years ago, and it's this very nice boutique hotel that welcomes LGBT people from all over the world, right in the center of the city. And that's just kind of a starting point of where we go from here. And when you think of Lisbon and Porto, an amazing gay pride with the community getting involved, big events, parades. So, you know, it is celebrated. The people that are here do celebrate today. Families, kids, you go in, it does remind me of you know, Toronto and Vancouver, of course, somewhat in a smaller scale, but still very beautiful to experience. That's being celebrated, and you have the support of the city, the support of the government with funding, sponsors, and all of that taking place. And let's not forget also there is the Queer Film Festival in both Lisbon and Porto every year. So that's another event that to show that it's you know, the community is here. And more specifically now to Lisbon, there's some neighborhoods that are quite, you know, that the percentage of businesses or of residents that are LGBT, those neighborhoods would be Príncipe Real, it's a big focus on that. Then you have Bairro Alto, which is a bit of the bohemian downtown part of Lisbon, with many gay bars within the Bairro Alto without the other, you know, the Irish pub. In Príncipe Real, you have some institutions that are 40 plus years old, like Finalmente, which is a bar, restaurant, nightclub that's been opening, if not for 50 years, even more. Don't quote me on it, but I know it's at least 40 years old. That to this day have, you know, nightly drag queen shows, the traditional style, more like cabaret-like, still sent to the community for queer people that are moving from smaller places in Portugal to make Lisbon their home. And also there's a place called Trumps, which would be one of the gay nightclubs in Lisbon. And it's been open also from over 40 years. And to this day, you go in there, it's, you know, a mix of demographics, of ages, of classes, of colors, everybody coming together for a place to have fun. With all of those mentioned, since we touched on the nightclub, there is a major nightclub in Lisbon that is called Lux Fragile. And that's also considered, even though not being a queer club, a queer friendly. You go there if you are into the night scene, you know, the late night scene, something that I have honestly retired a while back. You go there and you see a very strong presence of the queer community and being very welcomed on that environment. So all in all, Lisbon is a very queer friendly city. You see couples holding hands, you see public display of affection. It's a great place. So they get into the point, is Lisbon gay friendly? Yes, it is. Is Portugal gay friendly? Yes, it is. It's important not to sugarcoat it, right? Homophobia, transphobia is still part of the daily life of many, perhaps, as far as incidents. Lisbon and Porto are the one, as far as reported incidents, with higher rating of reports of homophobia and transphobia. And perhaps that's the reason for that is that there is obviously a larger concentration of queer people in the major centers. Is this a Lisbon problem? Is this a Porto problem? Is this a Portugal problem? Not really. As we all know, if you're coming from New York, San Francisco, in our case from Vancouver, from Toronto, it does happen everywhere still. We're still in a long journey of stopping those incidents of transphobia and homophobia. But by personal experience, my partner and I have encountered nothing but open arms and feeling welcomed to the country as a whole, and also to the fact that we are a queer couple. To give some examples of how LGBT friendly Portugal and Lisbon have become, let's start with May 17, being the day against homophobia and transphobia in the country. And last year I even noticed on that day the Parliament building was illuminated in the rainbow colors, which was quite nice. When it comes to LGBT rights as far as a couple, insurance, health, immigration, it's all very open. You can bring your same-sex couple to Portugal. Let's say if you're a Portuguese or a resident in Portugal and your partner's from somewhere else in the world, that relationship is acknowledged. Gay couples are also by law can do IVF in Portugal. Right now, still a bit of a gray area when it comes to surrogacy, but that's even for heterosexual couples as well. Won't go too deep on the surrogacy issue, but overall, when it comes to laws of changing names for trans people, there was a point in time where in Portugal, you needed to be diagnosed with mental illness before you could change your name. Now you can freely change your name as long as you're of age. If you need to change your name from male to female, female to male, whichever it is that your sexual identity, without having to go through any complicated legal process, which is a huge victory for such technically speaking, conservative and Catholic country. So overall, lots of triumphs when it comes to the rights of the queer community in Portugal and Lisbon. It goes without saying, after sharing all those rights and where Portugal stands on LGBT rights, that gay marriage is recognized in Portugal, and so is the right to adopt for gay couples. In a less serious note, when we think about traveling in Portugal, let's start with all the queer people that have opened their business all across the country. You know, retreats, hotels, bars, restaurants, all over the country. And of course, with the centers being the focus, like Porto, Lisbon, a fair bit in the Alentejo actually, and on the southern coast of the Algarve. And even in Lisbon, as I always mention, how easy it is to enjoy the beach when you live here. With being, you know, the best beaches in Caparica being about a 20 to 25 minute Uber ride, there is actually a gay beach as well, gay beach number 19. So for any of those that really enjoy being outdoors, enjoying the beach, there's also that ride in Greater Lisbon to be enjoyed. After all of this, if you've been thinking of moving to Europe, if you've been thinking Portugal might be the country for you and your family, contact us so we can further discuss how we can assist you and your family with relocating and investing in this beautiful country.